gentlemen, it is me, Dr. Donna. Welcome to today's personal accountability. Today's topic: checks and balances. What is the first thought that enters into your mind when you hear checks and balances? The definition that I will be using today and the examples that I will be giving to you, or the information that I will be sharing with you, is checks and balances as it relates to the brain. In the context of the brain, checks and balances refers to the way different brain regions regulate, inhibit, or support one another to maintain cognitive, emotional, and behavioral balance. Just as in government, where separate checks branches check each other to prevent abuse of power, the brain uses internal systems to ensure no single region dominates decision making, emotion, or action without oversight. And here's the neuroscience breakdown. In the prefrontal cortex, the function of the prefrontal cortex is the executive control and decision making inhibition. The checks and balance role is it inhibits impulsive actions from the amygdala and regulates emotional responses. The amygdala, its function is emotion, especially fear and threat detection. Now, it triggers fast emotional reactions, but it's checked by the prefrontal cortex for rational control. The anterior cingulate cortex, its function is for conflict monitoring and error detection, and it acts as an internal referee between emotion and logic. The basal ganglia, the function is action selection and habit regulation, and it balances initiation and suppression motor behavioral responses. And then the insula, its function is self-awareness, emotional salience, and it communicates bodily states to help assess decisions, checked by the prefrontal cortex for context relevance. Finally, the hippocampus. Its function is memory and context. It provides context to emotional responses and regulates memory driven reaction. Now, why does this matter? Checks and balances in the brain are crucial for emotional regulation, not overreacting to stress, thoughtful decision making, not acting on impulse, cognitive flexibility, adjusting your behavior as needed, and then behavioral control, overcoming habits of compulsion. The brain based analogy and the way that you can remember it is this: think of the prefrontal cortex as the president, the amygdala as Congress, and the ACC as the Supreme Court. And they constantly interact and check each other to maintain balance between logic, emotion, and action. This all works when you allow your brain to work as it was properly designed. If you have any brain system region interactions that are out of action, you are not going to be checked and balanced. If you allow the amygdala to do the job of the president, or the president to do the job of the ACC, or the prefrontal cortex as the job of the ACC, you will not be balanced. When you find your brain not functioning properly, check your balance. Ensure that each brain region is doing the job that it was actually designed to do, and that it is not overstepping its role in your brain. Checks and balance. Make sure that they check and they balance, and then you will be balanced too.